Welcome everyone, this is ElPro. In today's video, we're going to be showing you guys the most useless piece of tech in the history of the world, probably, maybe. But this thing is, like, completely useless. It can't do jack shit nowadays, so let me introduce you to it. It's this thing right here. This, if you may not be, if you don't really know what this thing is, don't worry. Most people don't, but this is an Antminer D3, and it is a useless piece of shit, and I don't mean that lightly. I can't use this for anything other than waste electricity, I guess, but, realistically, that's not ideal. So we're going to be showing you guys how useless it is by just taking it apart and turning it to pieces, because that's really all I can do with it at this point. It serves no purpose. I don't have a power supply for it. I'm not buying one, and I'm not going to go down under in electricity costs, so let's go ahead and take this thing apart, turn it to pieces. So, let's go. Alright, so at this point, I kind of figured that most of you guys are wondering, why the hell am I saying this thing is so useless? It's an Antminer D3, right? So if you guys don't know what this is, it's basically a application-specific integrated circuit, or an ASIC for short. And this thing is used to mine X11 cryptocurrency. So the coins you can mine with a device like this would be Dash, Hatch, Pura, Smart Coin, Cannabis Coin, Influx Coin, Start Coin, Onyx, Subcoin, Cream, Arctic Coin, Polis, and Cuba Coin, I think, as well. So, with all those are the coins you can mine with this thing, and that's exactly what this thing is meant to do. Just mine those specific coins all day, every day. So, it uses a crap ton of PCIe connectors over here. So, each one of these things is called a hash board, and it's like, what? And each one of these consumes like a crap ton of power. I believe that the continuous power rating for this unit is something around the neighborhood of 1,000 watts. So that's the nominal amount of power it consumes. It can do up to 1,300 or something like that. But basically, this uses a crap ton of power. It's super inefficient nowadays, and you really won't make money unless your power is free, which mine is not. So, yeah, this thing is extremely useless to me, and at this point I've just kind of begun, testing and tinkering with it, testing the fans, plugging it straight into DC power supplies to see how fast I can get them to spin. But basically, yeah, this thing is extremely useless, and to make a video about it today, we're just going to take it apart and show you guys what's inside of it, because there's really nothing else I can do with it. I can't really sell it. They're not worth anything. I mean, go on eBay right now and tell me how much an Antminer D3 goes for, and I can tell you right now it's basically nothing. So I think we're going to start by taking apart this thing right here. This is the fan grill to stop you from getting your fingers decapitated. So yeah, basically this thing. Oh yeah, these things are also super duper loud. I did run it once, mostly just the fans, honestly, and the thing is like, what, like 80 or 90 decibels loud, so that's louder than an alarm clock, to give you an idea of how loud that is. So yeah, it's pretty ridiculously annoying, and to be perfectly honest, unless you're in an actual mining farm, there's really no point of keeping this thing in my room. So, I mean, at least when it's running, of course. But yeah, let's take it apart and just show you guys what's in it, because that's all I can really do with it. Oh, so the whole thing came out. Okay, nice. So here's our axial fan. The reason this is a axial fan, so if you guys don't know what axial fans are, it's basically a fan that spins super fast. These are usually meant for like servers and things like this. But here's our fan, here's our fan grill, and as you can see, that the hash boards are in here. These are the little things that are heat sinks, and each one of these is glued to the to each processor. So there's like tons of processors in here. And that's the thing that makes your cryptocurrencies right there, or mines for them. So I'm just going to take apart this other fan, or should I? Yeah, I'm going to just take it apart. Screw it. So there's 4 screws, 4 more screws on each corner. Okay. And then we're going to take these off as well. Alright, so I guess now that, let's talk more about this thing. So this particular unit would have come out sometime around 2017 or something like that, back when the first mining craze happened. Not right now, because as of March 2020, we're going through yet another mining craze and another worldwide silicon shortage. So yeah, this would be the first round, at least the first round I witnessed and was aware of. But yeah, so things like this were pretty popular back then, especially like I think 2018 they were still kind of a little bit popular, but mostly the Antminer S9. So the Antminer S9 would be the ASIC that mined Bitcoin, I think. So with an S9 back then was really desirable because it was like because it was way more profitable than GPUs, despite the fact that it consumed so much more power than tons of GPUs. And the reason was because its hash rate was pretty high, especially for the time. So yeah, S9s were really popular. D3s were slightly popular for like a brief while, but not very long. Very quickly these there's heat sinks falling out already. Jeez. So here's some heat sinks just fell out of here. Oh, look, there's more. Oh crap. Dang. This thing is falling apart. That's probably from the little test I did the other day. But anyways, here's the other side. We're gonna take this thing off, one more screws. But yeah, so I think we should probably talk about how I got a hold of this thing. So the way I got a hold of this thing was, I think I was at school one day and I just got bored and ditched. Truth be told, I just walked out of school. I think I was in like high school at the time. So back when I was in high school, I was just kind of the kid who would always just leave for no reason. And I decided to just leave for no reason, and I found some guy on Facebook Marketplace who was like, oh yeah, you can buy this thing for $50 and you can have it. I'm like, all right, well, cool. So at the time I was kind of taking the cryptocurrency juice a little too much, just having a little bit too much of the cryptocurrency juice at the time, because it was everywhere, you know, it was really mainstream at the time, and it's kind of is nowadays, not too much though. But at the time I was like, yeah, I was drinking that Kool-Aid, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get myself into mining, I'm gonna be rich, and you know, and I was just kind of having crazy dreams. So let's see, can we get these out of here? So yeah, I purchased this thing for $50, and honestly, it's just been sitting since. Because at that point, the mining bubble kind of started to pop at the time. So I really didn't use this thing anymore. And it's been sitting here since, and oh geez, more heat sinks fell out. So here's our metal case. This looks like an HVAC unit for some reason. It's like the same style of metal here. But basically at the time, cryptocurrency was big and I wanted to get in on it as well. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to pay $50 for this thing. And I did. And ultimately I never used it. And it's been sitting here since. So as you can see, I just took this thing apart. So this, I think, is a Linux computer. This thing up here. So this right here is a Linux computer. This is what tells those things what to do. Because those are not computers. Those are literally just, I believe they're ARM processors or something. And this is your actual computer. This connects to the internet, the Ethernet right here, and that's how this thing works basically. There's a Linux computer here. I don't know if I want to take this off. I'll probably will, but first let's just go look at the hash boards here. So as you can see, this one, the heat sinks are starting to fall off. As you can see, there's a bunch of little processors. Wait, did these just like come off? Oh yeah, they just rip right out. Let's see, can I get another one? Yeah. So there you are, and then I think these are this is your power regulation or something like that. This is probably some kind of voltage regulator, and then we have some capacitors and an induction coil, it looks like. And we have more ICs back here. So yeah, really not that interesting now that I have a look at it myself as well. But we have 3 of these. Each one of these consumes like 300 watts of power or more. And these get ridiculously hot, apparently. I never ran this one, so I can't really tell you from personal experience. But as you can see, here's our thing all taken apart. So let me figure out how to get this computer out of here. And we're probably going to take it apart as well since we're this deep into it. So give me a second here while I take that apart. Alright guys, so I studied this thing a little more so I can go ahead and take off this computer. And it looks like there's 4 screws holding this plate on. And then this thing could just slide out. So while I do that, I'm going to tell you guys about why this thing, you can't even use this thing for mining cryptocurrency, even though that's what it was designed for. Nowadays, you can't really do that with this thing. And the main reason is because this thing consumes so much power, and there's other newer ASICs that Bitmain has come out with in recent times, and those are better at mining than this one is. So the efficiency equation is just out of the window at this point. It doesn't matter anymore. Unless you're getting free power, there's really no reason to run something like this. and not to mention you're gonna lose money if you do. But yeah, this is why I can't really use this thing anymore, and honestly, I'm probably gonna end up throwing it in the eat waste pile, and that's kind of a shame because, to be perfectly honest, you know, I don't really like throwing shit away, you know, just throwing electronics away for no reason. But this is one of those cases where I really can't do anything with this because, you know, typically when it comes to old stuff, I would like modify it or, you know, do something interesting with it. You know, as like that iPod Touch 6th generation, that's kind of what I did with it because, you know, the previous owner just kind of had it sitting there and he didn't use it. And I was like, oh, well, I'll make a video about it. But, yeah, this is an example of one of those times where I really can't do anything with it, so I probably have to throw it to the e-waste recycling center. Since, oh, wow. Because there's really nothing I can do with it. Like, as much as I can try to set it up and, you know, get it going, there's really no reason to, because, you know, it's not efficient. And it's going to end up in the landfill probably. I don't know. Hopefully they do recycle it, but I doubt it because recycling stuff like this is, since this is like a super processed, really refined finished goods product, it's not really easy to recycle stuff like this. So at the end, this probably will end up in a landfill, whether I'd like for it to or not, because I can't just leave it here. I have no space in this room, and yeah, it's kind of a shame. But anyways, it looks like there's 2 screws holding this thing together still. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if I can get a smaller screwdriver in here, because this P2 is not going to work in here. So let's break out the kit, and we're going to try the PH1. See if the PH1 is going to get this thing out of here. So yeah, as I'm saying, unfortunately, the reason that these particular electronics are not really good for the environment, honestly, is because a lot of them are probably going to end up in the trash pretty soon, since these go out of date really fast. Since technology is constantly advancing, or, you know, the manufacturer decides, oh yeah, well, let's just up the power draw considerably, and there we go, we have a more powerful product. And this is why investing yourself into ASICs, unless you have an actual mining farm and you do this kind of professionally, there's really no reason to try to get yourself into this. Fun story, actually. I think Linus one time, I think he was on the WAN show, and he was talking about how he took the cryptocurrency juice a little too seriously, especially in 2017. But yeah, I feel like I can relate with that too, because you know, I went as far as to set up a mining rigs in my freaking high school. So I did a story about that. If you want to see it, go check it out up here. But yeah, here's our little computer, the thing that controls the whole thing. I believe that's an SD card slot. Huh. Interesting. So here it is. Here's our computer, and this is the brains of the whole operation. I believe this thing runs Linux. It's like looks like a Raspberry Pi just stuck on here with a network port, a reset switch, indicator LEDs, another switch. I think this is the reset switch, and this is the power switch. I don't know, but yeah, fan ports, capacitors, power. Oh, this one can take 4 hash boards. Nice. So there's one missing because this thing only had 3 hash boards. So here's 2 of them. And here's another one. Damn, I should be careful when handling these. These are sharp, actually. So yeah, and then here's the little heat sinks that fell out of them. I have a whole bunch of them on the floor too. Holy crap. But there we are, guys. If you've ever wanted to see what's inside of an ASIC, here you go. I just wanted to put together this video to do something with this thing because it's been sitting for so long, just collecting dust, just taking up space. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little video and me just talking about cryptocurrency and crap. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more videos. I got some more epic ones. I'm going to go ahead and review me a new TV. Well, not new TV, but a new to me TV. So I purchased, well, actually I got a TV for free, and I wanted to show you guys this thing because it's kind of a interesting throwback. But anyways, catch you guys up next time. I'll see you then.